Hello, welcome to Horsepen Ranch. My wife Janessa is going to share her famous pie crust recipe today, just in time for the holidays. You don't want to miss this one. Stay tuned.
Welcome everyone. I think this might be my first time participating on the YouTube channel of Horsepen Ranch, but I'm pretty passionate about making homemade pie crust. It's so easy to buy one from the store, but when you make one from scratch, everyone can tell. It's so much better. And growing up in my family with my grandmother, my mother, this has just been a family tradition. So I hope you enjoy it as well. Our first step is going to be, we're going to take 4.5 cups of flour and we're going to put it in this bowl here. It says you can sift it. I don't normally take time for that. If you are into sifting, you go with it. You can always add more flour later. Our next step after the flour is we're going to need 1 tablespoon of sugar. So we're going to go ahead and add that in here. And we're going to put that tablespoon of sugar and we'll stir all this around. Next, we're going to put 3 teaspoons of salt. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. All right, so I'm just going to give this a good stir, kind of mix those things around. And I know that making your own crust can be pretty intimidating, but this is a recipe that really works every time. And I'm so thankful for that because especially at Thanksgiving, you have a lot going. You need things to work. So after we have our dry ingredients, we're going to get our shortening prepared. So that's next. And a little trick I do with my shortening, who wants to clean shortening out of a measuring cup? Not me. So I take some press and seal, cling wrap here, and I'm going to press it down into this because that is going to help in not making a mess with your shortening. So it's just a fun little kitchen hack. You put this around, and even if it's not perfect, it's still going to really eliminate a lot of the mess. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to have my shortening here. Now, shortening is not good for you as a general rule, but at the holidays, we use butter flavored Crisco, okay? This is not a great food to eat every day, right? But it's going to be fine. It's going to make that pie taste really good for the holidays. We are going to take 1 3/4 cup of this butter flavored Crisco, and we're going to put it down into this measuring cup here until we can see that we got about that right amount. And this is the fat that we're going to cut into that flour mixture in order to make our pie. Okay, so let's see. We need a little more. It's not really even, so we need another good spoonful there. And when you can see, you have about 1 3/4 cup there. One more little bit. Then we're going to pop this out and put it in our flour mixture. All right, so I'm going to be taking this shortening and we're just going to pop it out of there and plop it right into our flour mixture. Now the next step is once we have that fat in the flour is we have to start cutting it in. So this is a flour or a pastry cutter. If you don't have one of these, you can use 2 forks, and I've done that before. So you could try it today with 2 forks, but better to have this tool when you get a chance to get one. All right, now it's gonna end looking pretty dry with just some crumbles in it. And I want you to know that that's normal. We have a wet mixture we're gonna sprinkle over our dough that's gonna bring it all together. Okay, and the magic that brings it all together is we're gonna take a half cup of water here. We're gonna take a tablespoon of white vinegar. We're gonna put that in here. And we're gonna take 1 egg. This happens to be a farm fresh egg, but you can use a store-bought egg, no problem. All right, there we are. So I'm just gonna take my fork and just kind of mix this in together. Looks like I probably should have used a bigger bowl, but hey, it's okay to make a mess in the kitchen. We're going to take this and we're going to put it gently into our mixture, okay? So you're gonna see I'm putting a little bit in there like this. Now I'm gonna go ahead and mix that with my hands a little bit and kind of see how we're doing. Pie crust is very thin dough. This is not biscuits. This is different. So if you're used to making biscuits, it's going to feel a lot different. Look at my hands. That means you're doing a good job if you're looking about like that. Okay, so I'm gonna start mixing this in, mixing it around. The good news is this makes 3 to 4 pie crusts depending on the size that you're making. So I am making this into a thin dough. You can see it's coming together. This recipe has actually overtaken some of the long-time family recipes, and I have had bakers in my family tell me now they're using my recipe instead of my grandmother's. And towards the end of her life, I believe my grandmother began using this recipe, so I felt pretty proud of that. Okay, so you see, I know you weren't sure that was going to work, but it did. So now we have a big ball of dough. Our next goal is to kind of take this and we're going to make it into separate. This right here, you see it's about the size of my hands here. That's going to be a good pie crust. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to roll that out in a minute. I'm going to make these. Think about the bottom of a pie is going to be larger than the top. So if you're making a cherry pie, you need a bottom and a top. So you don't need quite as much dough for the top portion. See, there's number 3 coming together. And then here, you don't want to waste any of that good stuff. Here's number 4. Now, if you are not going to use these right away, you can wrap them each in saran wrap, put them in a freezer bag, and freeze them. And I'll show you, I have some in my freezer. I'll get those out for you in just a minute, just to show you how that can work. All right, so here's what a bag I just pulled out of my freezer, and I'll be honest, I've left these in there a little too long, but you can leave them probably 6 months. Just don't get busy. Remember, set one out that afternoon if you want to make a pie that evening and let it come to room temperature and it'll be ready to go. So it is doable. Set those over here. Now, my mother bought me this fancy pie pastry making mat. You do not have to have a mat like this. And before I had this, I simply would take Pam or cooking spray, put it directly down onto my cabinet, and then put saran wrap over that. Then you can easily roll out your pie pastry on that. You don't have to have a mat like this, but it's nice if you do. So, all right. I'm going to put a little bit of flour down. You always just kind of want to have a good surface to start preparing your pie crust. So here it is. Here's one of the balls that I made. And then the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of knead it, push it kind of like this So I'm starting to push it down into that round shape that I want. So I'm pushing it together, and then I'm going to take my rolling pin. I'm going to put a little bit of flour on your rolling pin. And I'm going to start. And if you want to make a super thin pie crust, you can put saran wrap down over this and roll it out like that if you want it really thin. So there's lots of tricks. We're just going to kind of do it the old-fashioned way here. These pie mats are nice because it shows you about how big you need it to fit into the pie plate. Now you're going to see things like this. You just push it, kind of seal it back together. It's not the end of the world if something like that happens. Your family is going to thank you for going the extra mile this year. All right. That's all there is to that. And now we're going to do the scary part and put it into the pie plate, okay? So I've used the smaller pie plate today. And I'm going to take this, put my hand under it. So we got our plate here, you ready? And we're gonna layer it over the top of that. And it's just gonna come right off. And you can move it, like I realize I need to scoot it this way a little bit. That's all right. So we've got that. Okay. I'm gonna, see I need a little repair work. I'm gonna get a knife. I'm going to cut this extra. Now, a little secret, my dad loves for my mom to take these extra strips and you put them with cinnamon and sugar and you bake them in the oven, and he eats them just like that because this pastry is good. Pie crust makes good snacking. I want to show you this part. This is where you get to be an artist. Now this is if, let's say we were making a pumpkin or pecan. We're not going to do a top crust for this particular pie. Then you need to go ahead and you need to make your edges. And there is no rocket science to this. If you'll see, I'm just kind of putting it up underneath there, folding it under and pinching it a little bit to start. And even if it doesn't look super beautiful, it's going to taste so good that nobody's going to care. They will know there's something different about your pie this year. Okay, so that, now I'm going to take my fingers like this. See, 2 and 2. And I'm just going to go around and make this look first class. There we are. And there are other ways to do it, but this is how my grandmother and my mother taught me, and it's the way I've always done it. Okay, so here we have it. This is our homemade pie pastry, and there are thousands of possibilities of what you can put in here and wow your family for Thanksgiving this year. Thanks for watching.